It's been kind of crazy to be a Zelda fan lately. Link's Awakening got announced, and that is coming later in the year. Cadence of Hyrule was also a surprise announcement and an amazing first opportunity for an indie development team to have a hand at making a game that is linked to Zelda in some way. And apparently there is more Zelda on the horizon, because we are just now getting word that Monolith Soft, yes, Monolith Soft, is recruiting for work on the next Legend of Zelda. Now, they don't go out of their way to say that it's like the next big Zelda, but okay, we're gonna talk about a couple of things here. We have heard rumors about a Breath of the Wild 2 happening at some point. And now that we are seeing this, I fully think that that is what is coming next. Cartridge Games, I do want to give this person here a shout out, because they are the ones that introduced this next thing that I'm about to talk about. First up, Monolith has worked on the last 2 console Zelda games. Cool. Again, thank you for Cartridge for giving me this, because there is an excerpt here that says, when Xenoblade Chronicles 2 was still in development, Nintendo was also working on The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Around 50 to 60 Monolith Soft developers went to Nintendo to assist them on Breath of the Wild's development. 40 developers worked on Xenoblade Chronicles 2, with the remaining 10 involved in R&D, research and development. For comparison's sake, over 100 people were working on The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Miyamoto confirmed in June of 2016. So yeah, there you have it. Monolith Soft was already helping with Zelda games for a while, and now we see these job listings that all but assures that that is going to be the case going forward as well for this next Zelda adventure. And it seems like Nintendo is like heavily investing in the Zelda franchise, because, you know, Breath of the Wild, it's one of the best-selling games on Switch. It absolutely is. But it's also one of the games that's been out the longest, and clearly the franchise has evolved a little bit, and it really seems, at least to me, that it may be more important than ever to Nintendo. And, you know, that's with very good reason. Open world games continue to become more and more popular, and if this is indeed Breath of the Wild 2, or a sequel that is like tied in, even if they don't end up calling it that, you know, I'm thinking something like Ocarina to Majora's, where they were like very obviously tied in, even though there wasn't a 2 in the title. So with all of that, like, Nintendo is gonna keep making sure that Zelda and the Zelda franchise is prevalent on Switch. And okay, we got Breath of the Wild, and traditionally we don't see a ton of sequels to Zelda games, at least not direct sequels like this, but I think it's going to be really good use of Nintendo and Monolith's time, because they already developed the engine, they already developed so much for this, so why not just kind of, and this is gonna sound bad, why not recycle some of that and then just give us some really cool adventures? Maybe even go back to a little bit more of a traditional Zelda, where you have dungeons and you have to get the weapon. I know a lot of people don't like that, but I still really love that about Zelda. The puzzles and the dungeons that were in Breath of the Wild were definitely unique and different. We hadn't seen anything like this before in the franchise, but I would love to see a Breath of the Wild sequel where they do kind of go back a little bit to how things used to be. They are also saying that they are pretty much hiring all types of staff. They're talking like level designers, like editors, like everyone basically. Like, it's an all hands on deck thing to hire as many people for whatever is coming next. Now, let's talk about just Monolith in general. They're probably working on something else. I don't think that they are now solely gonna be just helping out with, you know, Breath of the Wild 2 or whatever the next Zelda game ends up being. We saw in that little excerpt earlier that they were working on Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and they were still able to assist. And I fully think that is what is happening again. Like, we don't have any real confirmation that another Xenoblade Chronicles game is coming, but, you know, Chronicles 2 sold like really well. I know people want a X remake. You know, it's one of the last few Wii U exclusive games. I mean, I know it came to like handheld or whatever, but it's one of the last few games that just hasn't been remade, and people really like that game. So hopefully they still do that for those fans. But I would love to see a Xenoblade Chronicles 3 where, you know, the combat gets revamped, the story is going to be different, obviously a different set of characters and everything. But hey, they can definitely work on both of them at the same time. For right now, I am just excited that Zelda is going to be going strong into next year. Again, we have 2 Zelda projects happening this year, right? We have Cadence of Hyrule coming sometime, and then we have Link's Awakening coming sometime else, a different time, probably not at the same time. And yeah, it's gonna be really, really cool. And as a Zelda fan, I am just excited as all hell to see what they are gonna do. But let me know in the comments below, are you excited for a Breath of the Wild sequel? There is also the off chance that it's just a different Zelda game that isn't tied to Breath of the Wild at all, and we're just gonna get another Zelda game sometime this generation. And you know, we fully expect that, just because Switch is gonna be around for quite a while. But yeah, let us know your feelings in comments below. Would you like a sequel to Breath of the Wild? Don't forget to hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you are not subscribed. Follow us on Twitter for giveaways and more shenanigans, and we will catch you on the next one. Switch Force out.